What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the first installment of the Late Night Show, Dr. Kojo, for the week. I'm your host, Dr. Kojo, checking in from the heart of Texas. This is a Texas live stream. We're deep in the heart of Texas. Normally, I get on here and I say, my name is Kojo. I'm checking in from Los Angeles, California, Hollywood. But regardless of if I'm back at home in California, or if I'm in Texas, or if I'm in Georgia, or if I'm in New York, the show must go on. So I'm excited to get into it. We're going to talk about four uh, ways to protect your mental health when dating. But before we go ahead and get started, use the comment section to let me know what your name is, where you're coming from. Let's get started. Austin, what's up? Austin, what's up? Austin. Austin's the OG. Austin, how's your day been? I hope your day has been fantastic. And Austin checking in from is it Missouri? That don't seem right. I'm having a brain fart. Help me out, maybe, please, Austin. I won't forget this time. Megan is checking in. Megan, what's up? What's up? Megan is the OG here. It's good to see Megan back. Joanna from Twitch. It's been a while since I've seen Joanna on here, so it's good to see you again, Joanna from Pennsylvania, checking in. Megan from Austin. Gotcha. Megan from Austin, what's up? What's up? Jennifer Geraldo, how you doing? How are you doing? We got Lee from San Antonio. Okay. Missouri. Okay. All right, cool. I knew I wasn't tripping. Austin from Missouri. And then Megan from Austin. Okay. Back in from Atlanta, I had to take a mental break from social media. Nothing is wrong with that. I have to take breaks from time to time. Y'all don't know when I take to have the team just spinning out videos for me, but you gotta take breaks. You have to. Jody from Baltimore. Jody, how are you doing? I'm happy that you're able to catch a live stream. I know it's been an interesting past couple of days in Baltimore with the bridge and everything that happened, but hoping that you're doing good, and I'm happy that you are on this live stream. Jay is checking in from Colorado. Jay, what's going on? What's up, Jay? Yeah, it's been a while. I'm happy you are back. I'm happy you're back. Oh, okay. You were hauling in Austin, and you are in Florida. I thought you were in Austin, Texas. I got confused. I haven't sung for many years. So tired. Okay, well, Chinese, but hopefully that gets a little bit better. As you get some of these, dating tips. Hopefully, that makes you feel a little bit better. Let me pull up the TikTok. My TikTok boys and girls, I cannot get TikTok to come on the screen for whatever reason, but I'm keeping up with everything here on TikTok. We got Joy from Colorado. What's up, Joy? Big 8 Ball says, my boy, what's up? Big 8 Ball, what's up? How are you doing? Hi from California, the Scholarly Savage. I hope that you are doing good. It's a hell of a name. I like that. Sue in Pennsylvania. So, Jonathan. All right, Jonathan. What's up, my guy? What's up? I was like, I feel like I knew that name from somewhere. Jonathan, how we doing? Yeah, let's get into it. It's gonna be a hell of a show. Beanie, the topic for today is 4 ways to protect your mental health when dating. So if you've been keeping up with my content, I've been posting a lot of content about how to know signs that you're dating a narcissist, signs that you are in a healthy relationship, signs that you are in an unhealthy relationship. And when I'm doing the narcissist skits, I watch them back and I think to myself, I'm like, I haven't been the most perfect boyfriend in the past. And you can ask my exes, but they will tell you that I'm somebody who cares, and I'm not cruel to women. But when we're doing those acting skits, I have to think about what a narcissist would say, or I have to think about somebody who is emotionally abusive. What would they say? And when I'm watching skits back, I'm like, ooh, I don't like my community seeing me like this. But that's the whole point of acting classes, to bring out another character. But as I make those videos, I always think to myself, all right, if I'm dating or if I'm trying to talk to the people, what are some healthy ways for them to date? And that's how I compiled this list. Hey, Jonathan, what's up? Hey, tell Caitlin I said what's good. And the people on TikTok who are asking about tea break, a tea break is just when you take a small break from smoking. I don't know about small break, but when you take a break from smoking, THC, not nicotine, but THC. That's what tea break means. All right, let me. I follow you on there, but I don't typically catch you there. So, Joanna, you mean Instagram or do you mean Twitch? I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but Austin, thank you for dropping the Discord in here. The Discord is where you can join the Discord. It's a free Discord, and you can join this community. Normally, in the Discord, we post updates about what time I'm going to go live, the schedule for the week. Tomorrow, keep in mind, tomorrow we're going to do the neurodivergent speed dating. So we're going to bring people on tomorrow and actually talk to them on the live stream. And, I know Megan was, talking to Kobe, or maybe Kobe was trying to raise up Megan. I'm not sure what was going on there, but I think we may have a potential couple. It might be some love in the air. Luni says dating is a blood sport. Yeah, especially nowadays. Dating is not how it used to be. It's different out there. If you're out there on the streets, you can attest to it. You can attest to it. And the person on TikTok was asking, DNP, Doctorate of Nursing Practice. That's my degree. Hi, Ohio in the house. What's up, Ohio? Megan. So you're in? Okay, all right. I'm gonna stay focused because I have a bad habit of being all over the place. 4 tips, 4 ways to protect your mental health when dating. But I am very curious to see this potential relationship between Megan and between my guy Kobe in West Virginia. Megan's down in Florida and Kobe's in West Virginia. So normally, when a guy is dating a girl, a lot of times a girl will move to the guy's city. But between West Virginia and Florida, I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself, but I think I would go with Florida. But West Virginia is very beautiful. But Florida, West Virginia, I hope I didn't offend anybody from West Virginia, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And Kelly, that the neurodivergent speed dating is going to be tomorrow night. 8 o'clock, Nashville, Dallas, 9 o'clock, New York, Jacksonville, Florida, 6 o'clock, Los Angeles. So I hope y'all are there. Ooh, whoa. So you already talked to. Okay, all right, okay. I'm getting hyped. All right, let me not get off topic. Tomorrow we'll have the speed dating, and I'll get the full scoop on this. But for purposes of staying on topic, the first tip on how to protect your mental health when dating, and this is a tip that I personally hate to follow. Oh, he's coming to Florida? Whoa. Oh my gosh. What? Man, okay. I need to talk to my DP and see what my videographer's doing. I'm gonna have to come and film this. I'm gonna have to come to Florida. I live that get ahead of myself, but I'm getting excited. But the number one way to protect your mental health when dating, so it says stay home, is to go slow. It's to go slow. You gotta go slow. For those of us who have ADHD like myself, we don't like doing this. I will not lie to you. I don't like going slow. Because when you go slow, then, you have a chance to actually figure out who they are, and you might not like it. But when you're going fast and you're being led off of impulses, then, you want to get straight to the Mickey Ficky. You want to see what's going on. And for us as guys, I'm going to talk from the perspective of a guy with ADHD. You see a girl that you like, you feeling her, you think she look good or whatever. You want to pull up to her and make a move, maybe go down to Florida or, and also myself, like women from Florida are also a weakness for me. So, I got to stay away from Florida and those states. But you like to go so fast. And what happens is if you go fast, you're going to have a lot of fun. I can't deny that. It'll be really fun because you're not talking about the things that matter. Like, what's your stance on this? What's your stance on that? Do you want kids? Like, you're not having those hard conversations. You're being led off of impulse. And the older you get, I know you lose a lot more when you go so fast. So it's better to slow down, even though we know it's fun to go fast, right? We want to get straight to the Mickey Ficky. We might want to take our time, especially when it comes to protecting your mental health. So as y'all know, when when you're doing something for your mental health, that thing might not be the fun thing to do. It might not be the sexy thing to do, but you delayed the gratification. And you know that, all right, if I take these steps in due time, I'm going to do better, right? But I have to do things that I don't want to do and put limits on myself because we just know better. So because we know better, we have to do better. But I do acknowledge that it is fun to go really fast, especially in the beginning of a relationship. Yeah, yeah, you gotta go slow. You gotta go slow. You gotta go slow. KKWB7 on TikTok. Thank you for your comment. Um, oh, Kimberly says, "Oh, Kimberly, if you're a Florida girl, I'm gonna have to avoid you." I was talking to God last night, and God told me to avoid women from Florida because whenever I get around women from Florida, you know, my whole focus goes away. So, hey, but I'm gonna say hey from here. I'm gonna say hey from Texas and just back away. I'm gonna let Kobe handle the women from Florida because Florida women, they dangerous. And Claire says, trust me, ADHD girls want to get the business too. Of course, Claire, of course. Look, this is not something that's just guys or girls. You have to understand, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, what is ADHD? It's a condition. People say ADHD is, oh, I can't focus. No, that's not ADHD. ADHD is two things. It's a condition where people struggle to regulate their attention and regulate their mood. You have a hard time regulating your attention and a hard time regulating your mood. And you probably have a difficult relationship with rejection. So your mood's all over the place, your attention, you're unable to focus on something. So when you're captivated by something, especially a whole nother person, sometimes that's all you want to do. You just want to think about that person. You want to get straight to the Mickey Ficky. So yeah, a lot of the ADHD girls, they want to get the business too. And if you have an ADHD guy and he wants to get the business, now that's fun, but if we need to pause and take our time and catch our breath and really figure out if this is right for us, it's going to be really hard to do that when y'all go straight into the Mickey Ficky. We got to be careful here. And when your frontal lobe develops, 25, 26, those of us with ADHD, 31, 32, 35, when it develops, then you start to think to yourself, all right, okay, I need to take my time and put one foot in front of the other and realize that all good things take time. So we know this stuff, but do we want to do it? No, we don't want to do it. But when you know yourself and you know that, okay, the last time I got in a relationship with somebody and I went straight for the Mickey Ficky, I ended up in a narcissistic abuse. Then you're like, okay, it's fun, but nah, I can't do it. Can't do it to myself this time. Can't do it to myself this time. Zoe lady from Miami on TikTok. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah. We knowing what to do is one thing, and doing it is a whole nother thing. And that's the struggle with ADHD. Ooh, rejection sensitivity is real. Yeah. Well, Claire, I don't want to say better not to date because you don't want to avoid the game altogether because you're scared. Because then you won't find your person, and then you'll have all those lonely nights, and you're like, oh man, like I wish I had somebody, you know, at least to just watch, The Last Dance with me, or to watch, Netflix, or to binge, that new Amazon Prime series, So like we're human beings, we're gonna want companionship and intimacy and all these things. We just have to take our time. We just gotta take our time. It's like you're narrating, Claire. I know because look, we speak the same language. We speak the same language. So I'm probably narrating your last two relationships. And a lot of people who are watching this probably are able to relate to this. You go so fast, and then you have to backtrack and you have to figure out, okay, how did I end up in this situation? That's a really good question to ask yourself after the fact. Not when you're in another situation, but in between situations, to ask yourself, man, like how did I how did I end up here? You Good question to ask yourself. Kate, congratulations. And I'll have a stream later for that. But Kate, definitely follow me. And work the ECRH. Hey, user 39. I don't know who you are, but you said ECRH. That caught my attention. Um, right. Take your time practicing these techniques, and it will get easier every time. Yeah, take your time. We gotta take our time. We don't want to do it, but we gotta take our time. Tina, how are you doing, Tina? How are you doing? And oh, it's worth the wait. Should be. Yeah, Brad. So Brad, my guy, you know what I'm talking about. You gotta think with the right head. You know, Brad, you're a guy, so you know how we are as fellas. We have two brains. One brain makes certain decisions for us, and the brain right here is the one that we want to be using. So don't judge yourself too hard when the lower brain takes over. I missed a couple of comments. Slow and steady, yes, slow and steady. Um, Go slow to go. That's funny. And Kimberly says it makes you feel creepy because you're objectifying the person. I guess, Kimberly. But look, if the thirst is mutual, you're good. You just want to make sure that you're taking your time. And for the person who doesn't have any mental health concerns, can you still go fast and be okay? You probably could, but just as a general rule of thumb, it just helps to take your time, especially the older you become. It just helps to take your time. And yes, if you have the book on you, when I go back to LA, I'll get a whole bunch of books. But if you have the book on you, it is page 204 in the workbook, Setting Healthy Boundaries. You'll have to do that early in the relationship. Um, Claire says, "You are not wrong. Finding the person that brings enough to the table to sacrifice my peace is not easy, especially as a successful widow, 40 something." So, Claire, look, that's what you think, but I'm telling you, come on to tomorrow's live stream. There's somebody out there for you. Trust me, there's somebody out there for you. But definitely, as successful widowed 40 something year old, it can be difficult. And with women, a lot of times the more successful you are, it's kind of hard finding somebody in that playing field. Whereas with guys, it's a different story. We have more time, and we're not as penalized for waiting longer. So it is different. Do I think it's harder for you, Claire? Yeah, potentially a little harder. But is it impossible? No, not in this digital age that we live in. And also keep in mind, my community is full of neurodivergent individuals. I can't even talk. Individuals. I said individuals. So they speak your language. I mean, I speak your language. We all speak this language, so it's not impossible. Kimberly says you sometimes consider lifetime singlehood as a neurodivergent because you feel toxic and you don't want to be a burden on your partner. So, Kimberly, this is something that I've heard a lot. I felt this many times in my life. So, Kimberly, you're onto something. You're onto something because you know how you are, right? It's kind of like when you like have a dog and somebody comes over, the dog's about to pee. So you make sure you take the dog to the backyard. Hey, go pee in the backyard before you pee on our visitors. So like when you know how you are, you know how things are, you want to account for that. So you're like, all right, okay, I know how I am. I feel like I can get toxic sometimes. My boundaries are kind of like, work in progress. So sometimes you think that there's no hope for you, but that's not the case. That's not the case. It definitely feels that way, but it's not the case. It's not the case. Oh, uh, Espinoza on TikTok says Victor Wembanyama over 25.5 points tomorrow. Ooh, is Wembanyama going to have 25 tomorrow? I'm gonna say yes. Take the over on Wembanyama. I think he'll score at least about 30 tomorrow. So take the over on Wembanyama, and I hope that you hit your parlay. Somebody on TikTok says, "I wish it was much easier. I'm a hopeless romantic." It's not going to be easy, but it'll be worth it. It sounds cliche. And Jenny says, "I've been single so long, and I hope one day I find someone." Hey, y'all just haven't come to the live stream yet. You haven't come to the live stream yet. I got y'all. You haven't come to the live stream yet. Leilani, how are you doing? Oh, the weather is kind of erratic in the South, Tennessee, Louisiana, next couple of days. So Leilani, take care. I'll see you in the next stream. Thank you for coming through. And I had a good Easter, springtime with family. I hope you had a great Easter as well. Leilani is one of our moderators. And yeah, look, when you're neurodivergent and you're looking for your person, don't forget about friendships. So Dario, thank you for mentioning that. Friendships are essential. They're good for the soul. And sometimes we confuse the camaraderie that you get from friends with the love that you expect from a partner. You really need both, and trying to get both of them from one source. It's a lot of people's cause of frustrations. You are saying exactly what I'm thinking. I felt and feel toxic at times and beat myself up over it. So S on YouTube, I'm telling you, this is a common experience. A lot of us feel this. It's one thing to forgive other people, it's harder to forgive yourself. I do believe that. So you take it easy. You gotta be nice to yourself. You have to be nice to yourself. Let me see. Love friendships. I don't believe every person is a romantic match. That's a comment on TikTok. Yeah, but I think everybody should have it. Everybody has a chance at romance. Um, I've been following you since. Oh wow, Junie, thank you so much. You've been following since the 2017 YouTube days. I still practice. Um, Not all throughout the year, but I still practice. And my licenses are so active. My mom makes me keep them active in all the states, and that's a great idea. So shout out to mom. Mom knows. Houston says, I'm a very successful individual. I feel like I have everything, but at the same time, I have nothing at all. I was dual diagnosed ADD, ADHD. I just want to feel normal. So, ADD, ADHD, all the same thing. But Houston, let me say this. A lot of our frustration when we're neurodivergent comes from trying to be neurotypical. And I don't even know what normal means, but maybe you're trying to say what society expects of you. But when you can flip it around and take your strengths and highlight them and account for your weaknesses, it'll be a whole different ball game, Houston. Teen says, crap my neck. I did do that from time to time. Like, the more success in my business I have, the men who want to whine about not spending the time with them. So it's hard to be in a relationship, especially with a guy who's not entrepreneur and doesn't understand my issues of having ADHD. So Tina, you might need another guy who has ADHD or a guy who's an entrepreneur, because the way you ration your time, it needs to be compatible. And I can relate with this same struggle from the opposite perspective. Telling a lady, hey, yeah, I like you, but I gotta do all these different things, and like we'll have our one day this week and we'll do that. But this is a real struggle. It's definitely a real struggle. A floating my out on TikTok says, anyone else here don't know how to date or get romantic, only friendly? Put that question out. Does anybody struggle with being romantic and they can only be friendly? Being friendly is a form of romance. People like to feel good. Lana Robertson, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the community. I'm happy to have you here. Okay, Candace, know me. You should know me by now. Lana, we're talking about 4 ways to protect your mental health when dating. We're getting a snowstorm this week in New England. That's the one thing about being out there in Boston, New York. I love being out there, but that cold, and it's one thing to be in New England and it's cold and you're freezing. You got to crank up the heat, and it's a whole other thing to be doing that by yourself. Claire, you warm. Like you wish you were warm and you had a warm person next to you. So being single out there in New England is tough. Longer temper. Well, figure out ways to regulate your mood, and this is something that a lot of us struggle with. I dated, was engaged to a narcissistic man. I never knew what it was until after. Now, all right, let me just say this: when you're dating a narcissist, right? If you're actually dating someone who's a narcissist, you will not know until afterwards. By the definition of a narcissist, you should not know. Keep that in mind. If they're a good narcissist, or if I don't want to say good, that doesn't make sense. But if they're, textbook narcissist, you would not know because they're so charming, like you're so enthralled with the whole situation, you would not know until afterwards. So give yourself, some grace, and also keep in mind that person on the other end, there's still somebody who's worthy of love, attention, and respect. They're just dealing with their own struggles. So have empathy for them if you can. which should not be confused with hanging around to try and fix them. Run one back if you have to. Thomas out of the hospital. Yay! Welcome back. Welcome back. I work full time and teach college, and I've been told I don't have time then. But potential. Oh no, you have time. You have time for your person. A floating mind says, "Thank you for answering the question. I have no idea how to speak with intention of a relationship." Well, a floating mind. See, relationships are hard to it's a hard thing to just generate out of nowhere, but it's more so like it kind of comes to you, so you take a hold of it, of the situation. They're the best actors. Well, Candace, you can say that, but also sometimes they don't know themselves too. Somebody who does not know themselves, is something else. I find that people like to have romantic relationships with me, but don't want me for anything else unless they are dependent on me. Ooh, Lana. Ooh. Just got to pause right there. Sorry to hear that. Don't beat yourself up for it. This is something that a lot of women, a lot of people experience. Forget the gender. A lot of people will go through this where they feel like, you know, they're good to, come over after 10 p.m., for some Mickey Ficky at night, but not good enough to get that commitment. So you have to make sure that that person's opinion of you is not what you think about yourself, or you don't value that opinion over what you feel about yourself, right? That's not an indictment of who you are. That's just their thoughts. And if you want commitment, do your best to remove yourself from those situations. And it's hard because sometimes it starts off as, oh yeah, we'll do X, Y, and Z. And before you know it, you never get that commitment. It's like a floating situationship, you know? Cracking you up. Okay. All right. So, Ocean, look, I'm married to the game. I'm married to the game. I went to go get Aura Ring, which I use to track my sleep. And also, this ring will also let me know, just me personally, it'll let me know if I'm bipolar. It's just like a little something that I do with myself. Uh, and, talking to my psychiatrist, tracking my mood and my sleep. Or sometimes I just stay up because I have ADHD and I have insomnia. But this is a Aura Ring, so I'm married to the game. When I went to go get size for the Aura Ring, they I think I meant to put this hand in. I put this hand in, so they sized the ring for this. So it was a ring size 11, and I have to go back at some time and switch it out. But I don't want to go a couple of days without my ring. But I'm gonna put the new ring like right here. So I tell folks different things. I call it a celibacy ring, or I just be saying things. I just be saying things. GC says, while reading and watching videos, I saw myself in every case, in every story. I felt like, what is it in me that I trust virtually everybody? And look, GC, when you understand yourself and you understand how you operate, then you know not to put yourself in certain positions. Keep that in mind. Hotlanta, yeah, Hotlanta, I'm married to the game. Married to the game, never taking my ring off. uh, Raven says, my mom is single. Hit her up. Latonda Moore. Somewhere in this world, there's a Latonda Moore watching her phone like, I didn't tell you I was single. What you talking about? Latonda Moore. That's awesome. How do I tell if my partner is a narcissist or genuinely hates me? Well, the fact that you have to question it means that there's something you have to fix in the relationship. And a lot of times it could be misunderstanding. So I wouldn't jump to say that they're a narcissist, but just make sure you understand yourself, and whatever you need from your partner that you're not getting, figure out why you're not able to clearly communicate that. Last thing, I always see your videos. I have high hopes for those. I don't know why I barely feel positive. So you, I don't know how to say your name. You, I'll just say you. I don't want to mess it up. But I think I made a video about this, or I'll post a video tomorrow. A lot of times when we're stuck in life, what will really get us to the next level is a psychiatric evaluation. Go talk to somebody, go talk to a therapist, talk to a shrink, figure out what's holding you back mentally. Once you can take care of that, your life normally takes off. Could be depression, could be trauma, could be grief. But once you can, put two and two together, it should be a whole different ball game. My previous marriage was with a narcissist. Being a mom of multiple ADHD and one myself, it was super toxic. My current husband is so much more understanding. I give you a love of the show, and I'm happy that you mentioned your current husband, because when people read these comments, they have to know that it is possible for them to find their person. So, Crystal, your story really matters. I mean, all the stories matter, but your story matters for sure. Um, Jenny, it took Jenny 8 years to find somebody. Okay, okay. 2 Atlanta a week. Let me look some more of these comments. If I decide someone is worthy of my time, I'll make time. Right. When you're an adult working and taking care of things, uh, yeah, it complicates dating, because I think we can all agree that wasted time is the worst. That's the worst. I can't think of anything worse than wasted time. But congratulations, Crystal. Congrats. Um, are you talking about me personally? Uh, at this moment, I'm not thinking about dating. Uh, I'll get there eventually. I'm thinking about my business, my family, and things like that. But what age range? I think when you're, 'cause I'm 31. When you're 31, is fun. I think I mentioned this on the last stream last week. It's funny because you can date the mama or you can date the daughter, right? Like if the daughter is 22 or the mama is like 41 or something like that. I think that makes sense, right? But you can date the mama or you can date the daughter. But you can say the same thing for a 31-year-old woman. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess. Yeah, I guess it worked both ways. Uh, why do people lash out? Hey, Jessica, this is why regulating your mood is very important. And when you're upset, you say things that you don't mean. Right? No, Raven got her mama back. Latonda Moore. I won't forget the name. Houston, I'll let you know if there's a certain person I work with, and we do like consoles. We got overwhelmed when we did it, but I did appreciate. It was really cool when we did the consoles. If depending on what her availability is, if I do some type of whatever, I'll let y'all know. Because like I would want to do it, but I don't want to get overwhelmed. So I have to figure out that that's something I have to figure out. And then that's I love your perspective on understanding people's struggles and having empathy for their inner pain. Yes, yeah. Look, you have to keep the boundaries up and keep in mind that a lot of times people will hurt you and they don't know that they're hurting you. So like, I've been on both ends. I've been on both ends where I've hurt people and I didn't mean to do it, and I've been hurt, and I realized that that person, like I looked in their eyes and I realized that they did not mean to hurt me. It doesn't change the outcome of what happened, but you feel better knowing that their intent was not to destroy your life. You know. I wanna give you some good, good love. Oh, Latonda, Latonda. If you want your own kids or not, Sean. Yeah, well, Shonda. Yeah, I'd like my, kids eventually. So I guess based off of that, it goes to the daughter. But some 43-year-olds have kids. I mean, you never know. Is it considered cruel if you share your story with others and it paints them in a bad light? I believe sharing your truth is different than God's. Yeah. It depends on your intent. If you're not trying to, just throw dirt on their name and you're trying to explain yourself, I don't think you have any malicious intent. And I'm looking at TikTok. Somebody says, I'm 41 with a 21-year-old. You're in an odd situation. Yeah, Scarly Savage. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting situation because, I was like, you want to go older or you want to go younger? Um, it's interesting. How to help a partner with ADHD partner who struggles with depression, you get stuck. Noel, how are you doing on TikTok? Um, how are you doing, Noel? And the person who said how to help a partner who has how to help somebody who's dating a person with how to help somebody who's in a relationship with an ADHD individual that also has depression. Well, sometimes the help that you want to provide that person isn't something that you can provide, and however you can position that person to help themselves out could be more empowering, because it's difficult to have to like rely on people for help. So if you can help create a system for that person to where they're more independent, or they can voice their needs better, that could be helpful. That's answering the TikTok question. Crystal said, I found mine at 39 and he has been one of my besties for 10 years. Never know where the right one will find you. So, Crystal, I appreciate you. And this is what people really need to see, because when you cannot date while you're anxious. I mean, you can. I take that back. You probably don't want to go out into the dating pool, which is already interesting. You don't want to go there anxious, and expecting that the worst will happen. No, we want to expect good things to happen. So when you, like, if everybody who's here who's looking for the person, if you knew that in 2 years or in 16 months, 2 years sounds too long. But if you knew that in 16 months you would find your person who had 8 out of 10 things that you wanted, like somebody who's a ride or die for you, how would you feel today? You'd probably be like a lot less anxious because you're like, oh, okay, my person is coming in 16 months. So if you knew that these great things are, in store for you, how would you act? You'd probably act a bit different. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Kobe, I'm happy you came through. I'm happy you're saying hey as well. I see it's been a rough day for you. Hopefully, tomorrow is better, but hopefully from this moment on, the day is better for you. It was a rough morning for me as well. My dad went to the ER. This like some chest wall pain or something like that, but he's good. But this morning was a weird morning, and I had to snap out of it and have a good day. So whatever you've been going through today, Kobe, hopefully you bounce back, and this should be the beginning of the rest of your night, and hopefully this is like the good part of the day for you. uh Kathy, I get so many of these messages, it's really hard to keep up. I don't know the premise of the live. She's very this is Latanda Moore. What's up, Latanda Moore? How are you doing? Kathy, if and when, like, I open this up, I will let the community know. And Raven is saying go. Jay says, I feel too damaged, but I have a lot to offer. I just assume stay. No, no, no. You don't have to stay single. You don't have, well, I mean, if you want to, but understand that your people are out there. Your folks are out there. And man, so technically it should be a water break. Let me see if I got some water. Man, Mickey Ficky. Let me see if I got some water. My TikTokers. Someone says, if I text you on TikTok, will you please respond? So, all right. So, Facebookers, 1 second. My TikTok folks, I have even more like followers on TikTok, so it's hard to see. But if you, I'm going to start replying to comments with videos so I can answer people's questions, because I've been thinking about this for so long. I'm like, I'm just going to answer y'all's questions. So leave a comment. You can DM if you want, but I'll probably see your comment first. And Pretty Face Mommy, Wellbutrin mixed with Lexapro. If that's what your doctor put you on, then please take that Wellbutrin with the Lexapro. Sometimes you do have to antidepressants, but like take what your doctor told you to take. Let me go get some water real quick. But S, my dad's doing good. I talked to him today. He's chilling, so I'm good. I'm smiling. Let me find some water though. Water, water. Okay. Put this AC on too. Some water. Make it fakey. Man, all right, so I drank the last water I had. I gotta re-up. But for my boys and girls who do have a beverage nearby, water break. Somebody dropped the magic word in the chat, whether it's on TikTok or Facebook. Somebody dropped the magic word in the chat, and then I got a little bit of water here, and then we'll get this water break going. Kobe, I'm not wearing high heels. Nothing is. I mean, if you're a guy and you wear high heels, it's cool. I'm not wearing high heels. I'm wearing dress shoes though. I'm wearing dress shoes. So, um, no. Kobe, Kobe, that was good. That was good. That was good. I wear dress shoes. I wear dress shoes. But shout out to my guys who wear they high heels. Yeah, I did lose the water. Big cheers if you got some water. Big cheers, y'all. Big cheers. I get some more water. Got some more water. I got to get some more water. I accomplished what felt like absolutely nothing today, but I'm rested. Lana, that's a win. That's a big win. That's a big win. Cheers, cheers. We had the water break in. Kenneth said it's kind of a mix of empathy and heightened sensitivity issues. Trauma also comes into play as well. And that is true. Anxiousness is a pain. Trying to live in the moment is a challenge. Brad, it's hard to live in the moment, but I practice this every single day. And we can practice it too. So like right now, if I'm being present, I know that I have followers watching on Facebook right here to my left. I have my phone. I got my TikTokers, leaving a lot of comments. So my TikTokers are right there. I'll answer their questions, and then I got my Facebook here. I got 2 empty water bottles, power adapter here, microwave, uh, CVS cup. Shout out to my partners at CVS. Uh, Buy online, pick up in store in as little as 1 hour. So now I'm being mindful. I'm being in the moment. I'm being in the moment. All right, let me answer a couple of TikTok questions, and then I'm gonna drop the other 3 tips on how to protect your mental health when dating. Um, Pretty face mommy is asking if I'm single. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I am chilling. Goalie says they've never seen a frame on a live. Well, now you see it. The late night show. So hopefully y'all can get accustomed to this on TikTok. But I'm gonna be single until I'm married, which just means that if I'm dating somebody, I want to keep her away from the internet. Someone said, "Well, Butrin plus Cymbalta." Yeah, look, some people have to be on 2 antidepressants, so it's not, it's not an unusual thing, but it is an uncommon practice. But we do that type of thing, the 2 antidepressants. So your doctors are not like BSing you. You know, he's single but not ready to marry. Well, it depends on who asks me the question. I might be ready to marry. It depends. Um, Megan, you tell me that's what I'm thinking. And can you ask? Uh, I'll have to ask them. I'll have to ask them. Hopefully, they can get your Vyvanse back as soon as possible. But the stimulant shortage is not dependent on the pharmacy. It's been difficult for every single pharmacy to get the medications in. So I hopefully I can talk to the manufacturers who are pushing out the Ritalins, the Concertas, the Adderalls, the Vyvanses. Hopefully I can just get them to make more and send it to the local CVS so we can get our meds. So because if we don't get our meds, then we can't find the right people to date. We can't get our work done. We're gonna be behind on stuff we have to do at the office. We're gonna be behind on homework. So hopefully they can start to make these meds because we need them. We need them. Hey, Austin, that's what's up. Happily taken. Someone says he likes white girls. What makes you say that? I'm an equal opportunity employer. Lana, good question here. So with ADHD, I don't know, but and TikTok, I'll get to your questions in a second. I don't know with ADHD, but I read a study somewhere, and I want to get it was from a reputable source. I read a study about the link between autism and I don't know how to say the term correctly, like not queerness, but the link between autism and the LGBTQ community. And I found some links in there. Not that it's like you know, if you're autistic, you're more likely to be, bisexual or whatever, or non-binary. But there are some links there, so I need to find that study again, and need to look into it. It could be the same thing with ADHD. Uh, it could be the same thing with ADHD. I'm not sure. Take capillary clamping seems to work the best. Hey, we gotta take it. I gotta take my Adderall XR. We gotta take our meds. Nothing wrong with taking meds. Hey, I wasn't born in this country, so I cannot be your president, but I can be the governor of California or West Virginia. So those two things are my bucket list. I feel like Kobe and no, Megan, you and Kobe, y'all be the first up on tomorrow's live stream. I'm telling you. Yeah, the fluid connection is golden. We don't know what he likes, all types. All right, so look, with my videos, y'all have to understand this is show business, it's entertainment, it's Los Angeles, it's Hollywood. It's why I moved to California, because I wanted to go to the entertainment capital of the world and post videos and short films and eventually movies. I'm gonna be posting about the same thing I'm talking about now. The fact that you should ask for help. This is what ADHD can look like. This is what autism looks like. This is how dating. Like my videos are gonna have a mental health connection to it, but you have to go out. You have to get attractive women and put them in the videos. So go get women and go get other guys. I mainly work with comedians because I'm in the comedy space. Bring them into the skits. Boom, boom, boom. So it's like if you're hugged up with somebody, that's not your girl. I mean, it could be your girl, or I mean, look. Now, does everybody who makes videos in LA, is it just strictly acting all the time? No. Sometimes people make videos and they collaborate, and before you know it, they start to do the Mickey Ficky. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We need a good. I would be a good governor of West Virginia. I'll be one of the videos. That would be cool. That'd be cool. If I come to Missouri, that'd be dope. I'll go across the river and vote for you, Jamie. I appreciate that. I might have to start the campaign tonight. West Virginia, that would be hilarious if that actually happened. You make it, Angela. That's my goal. That's my goal. That's why we're in California. If you ever need a chubby 40-something, so Claire, first of all, don't even refer to yourself as a chubby 40-something-year-old. Say, if you ever need a beautiful 40-something-year-old who is neurodivergent, blah blah, I'm your girl. Like when we speak of ourselves, let's put ourselves on the pedestal, right? And ain't nothing wrong with chubby. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. It's all good in the hood, right? Lana, this is what I wish like I had when I was a kid. Because I was the only kid in my whole neighborhood, in my whole city who had ADHD growing up. That's what it felt like. I was the only kid in the state of Tennessee, in the state of Georgia, who had ADHD. Christiana, nice to meet Christiana. Nice to meet you, Christiana. Get some TikTok comments. What are they saying? How should Pretty Mommy says, how should somebody deal with a partner who went off their medications? So if you're dating somebody and your partner stopped taking their medications, do your best to remind them that the meds are important and that they should not stop. Tell them that if they want to stop, at least book an appointment with your doctor and talk it through. A lot of these medications that we prescribe, they're not things that you can just hop off of. Like you can't just go from taking 800 milligrams of Seroquel and you quit it cold turkey. I mean, you can do that, but you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to stop taking 60 milligrams of Prozac. You're not. You're just. it's not supposed to be like that, right? So just try and get your person to go back and talk to their doctor. There's nothing wrong with wanting to stop medications, but you just want to do it on your own. Like these medications, whether it's brain zaps with the antidepressants or you know uh, the symptoms coming back with the mood stabilizers. Just don't, please don't stop those things without asking somebody. You know. And Erica said that she'll move to West Virginia to vote for me. I appreciate that. And Pretty Mommy says, "Well, I'm white mixed too." So y'all have this whole white girl thing going. I get those messages too. Where people are like, "Oh, you only make videos with white girls?" I made videos with a lot of black girls. Sydney, she's a model, one of the most beautiful humans that I know. She's black. We made videos together, but nobody ever talks about those videos. They say he likes white girls. I'm an equal opportunity employer. Is this a joke? No, every joke got a little bit of truth to it. So, but I'm not offended. I mean, I've dated white girls before, and they were cool. Like it's not the color. It's more so of, does this person understand how I communicate? Like, is this person gonna be okay when I push back plans a week or 3 hours because I couldn't finish everything from Monday to Friday? Are they gonna be okay when I come home and I'm gassed out from a long day of work and I really shouldn't be giving them the worst of me, but sometimes you do that. Are they gonna be okay when I'm on the road traveling, trying to get things done? Are they gonna be okay with that? Who knows? You know. So that's what matters more to me, and of course, make sure that, that lifestyles and values and stuff like that. That's the stuff that's really important. Pray face mommy, you know it. You know it. You know it. As bad lamictal effects. Yeah. Like these are not meds you want to just stop taking. And Katie says, let me answer Katie's question, and then I will. The Scholarly Savage, maybe we might have to have you in a video. Let me answer Katie's question, and I'll get back on Facebook. Do you have any thoughts on RDHD unmasking in a corporate environment? All right, so Katie, I'm happy you asked this question. And then we'll get back to the dating. I like to go off topic. When it comes to unmasking in the work environment, even though I'm a big fan of unmasking, being your authentic self, you might want to just pace yourself because the work environment is different. A lot of times you're kind of rewarded for like fake laughs, like like it's not funny. We're like just so you can get a raise from your boss, and sometimes a lot of times it works. So that's when you have to tap into your Hollywood acting skills sometimes, and just understand that that's not a reflection of who you are. But even if you want to unmask your work, you should, if that's what you want to do and it's your prerogative, you should go ahead and do it. Just don't be too hard on yourself, and don't let your mood fluctuate based off of their reactions, because that's it's a process. It's a process. My mom tells me that I'm handsome all the time, especially when I cut my hair low. She doesn't like when I keep my hair up high. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. I try and take care of myself, S. And I don't know who you are, S, but I'm sure that you are a beautiful soul. What's your full name, by the way? And look, the 80s must have been a hell of a time, because nobody was talking about mental health back then. You really were the only person who was struggling when you were, back in the 80s. I was the only girl who was clearly shown since a young age and stand bad. That's why we got to talk about this. I was the only girl in the 80s in the inner city with ADHD. That's why we got to talk about this. Um, um, no, I have not seen this one, but let me take a picture. I might want to see it. Every now and then I'll cut on a Nigerian movie and it is a banger. Bones are for dogs, meat is for men. Okay. I'm a great. Awesome. Okay, I hear you. We'll come down to I keep saying Kansas City, Missouri. Sarah, Sarah, nice to meet you. Sarah without the H, nice to meet you. Um, and all right, oh, let me drop the second one in here. The second, mental health tip. I got off guard. How you spell reciprocity? All right. The second way to protect your health when dating: look for reciprocity. Because Nigerian people are the best. Ghanaian people are the best, but also Nigerians. Uh, Jennifer, I don't, but when I do get some resources, I would post them on my page. But whatever you're going through, just take your time. Grieving is not a linear thing. So take your time. Know that a lot of people care about you. Don't let anybody rush you in your grieving process. Second way to protect your mental health when dating: look for reciprocity. What does that mean? Make sure that things are, it doesn't have to be equal, but make sure that as you're giving, you're also getting something back. A good buddy of mine, Greg Hall, shout out to my boy Greg. I remember when I was working at the psych hospital when I was like 21, 22. We were both RNs on the floor. And I'm 21, so I don't have any bills and I'm making RN money. So naturally, I'm like, oh, I start going on dates with these girls or whatever. And he called me out one day. He's like, Kojo, how come like anytime you tell me about whoever you went out with, you're always doing or going here. What are they doing for you? And it blew my mind. I was like, dang. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. It never once crossed my mind. So when you are, I'm gonna say neurodivergent. There's a mosquito somewhere. I got that right. I got him. Can y'all see a mosquito? I got him. I just want y'all to see my mosquito catching skills. It's pretty good for a future governor of West Virginia. But yeah, uh, I was like, I never thought about like, reciprocity. I never thought about what is she doing for me. I never thought about it because I was like, oh, I just have to do for them. So especially for those of us who are neurodivergent and we have that sense of empathy and we feel so much. It's okay to feel, but just make sure that things are being done for you as well. And especially if you're sharing things about yourself and your mental health, make sure that you're not just telling everybody, oh yeah, well, when I was younger, this happened to me. I've been through trauma. And because then it's going to feel like they are a therapist, like you want to make sure that they divulge some information too. And once again, just like the first tip, go really slow. Nowadays with dating, going slow, go as slow as you can. Not as slow as you can. You don't have to wait forever for the Mickey Ficky, but just make sure that you have time to pause and, just take a beat, catch your breath, and figure out how you feel about a situation before you move forward. Because you do owe that to yourself. So take your time. Take your time. And Lana, I like this comment. Yes, it can feel selfish at times, which is going to be weird if you're not used to prioritizing yourself. It's going to be weird. I ain't going to lie to you. It'll be weird. Yep. It will be weird. So I'm happy you mentioned that. There is no dance without an exchange. Yeah, Catherine, you probably feel this personally. Claire, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I didn't know you were half Ghanaian. You should have said that. Okay. But shout out to my Nigerians as well. And yeah, we did go down a rabbit hole. Mo, that's Missouri. I'd love to come to Missouri eventually. I'd love to come out there. And Claire says, I spent too much time trying to fix people who came into a relationship broken and expected me to fix them, taking advantage of my education and background in mental health. So Claire, this is something that a lot of us who are in the mental health field struggle with. I do, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. When you're a therapist or a healer or a shrink, it's your job to fix people or facilitate their recovery. So naturally, you get a lot of self-esteem boost from helping people out. So when you go into the dating world, if there's no problem to fix, you're like, or at least for me, like if I'm talking to somebody and there's no problem for me to fix, I'm like, oh, I'm stressing out. I'm like, oh my gosh, she has two parents. Oh my, she doesn't have any trauma. What do? I have nothing to fix. And I'm like, oh no, like now I have to like have a personality. I'm stressing out because I'm like, there's nothing to fix now. So when this is who you are, just understand that, account for that, and make sure you set yourself up to be in a relationship, or at least a situation that can turn to a relationship. But make sure you're in a place where things can be reciprocated back and forth, and you're not just trying to fix them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This might be a healing problem. Heal, heal. It's a song by Tom Odell called "Heal." It's pretty good. And user 39 says, "I love me, so I enjoy loving others." Okay. User 39422. Yes, we're still discussing relationships and friendships. We are. Um, from my TikTokers. Pretty face mommy. Pretty face mommy, where are you from? And Braden says, my friend wants to know what you specialize in. Oh, I specialize in everything. No, what I say I specialize in um, I'll call myself the Hollywood mental health expert, but my expertise is uh, helping individuals with neurodevelopmental disabilities. That's ADHD, it's autism, dyslexia, dyscalculia. But I think I'm really good at treating bipolar disorder and schizophrenia and anxiety. I think I'm good at everything. And whenever a patient is in front of me, I feel like I'm the best person to help them out. But everybody should feel that way. Um, you know, uh, and I started off doing forensic psychiatry in Virginia for 16 months. So that I actually started off with that before I got into social media. Uh, so yeah, good question. Thank you, Braden. Van Goghen girl. Well, I appreciate your attention from YouTube, and thank you, thank you. I hope you continue to watch my YouTube channel. But yeah, the YouTube chat, and I don't know how the YouTube chat works. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like an old head sometimes, but it's a lot of love coming from YouTube, and I really do appreciate it. Angela says, sometimes I zone out while people are talking. I want to listen to them. I just scrolled and I feel horrible afterwards. Well, because you know this, when you're getting close to somebody, Angela, you can let them know about this. And even after you let them know, they still might be pissed, because it's one thing to hear this, and it's a whole other thing for me to be talking to Angela, telling her about my day or talking about something that's very important to me, and Angela's like, "Oh, what are you saying?" You're gonna feel like that person didn't care at all, because they weren't present. At least she prefaced everything with, "Hey, like I struggle with this, so boom, boom, boom." So that way that person can have a bit more empathy for where you're coming from, right? This growth thing. I think she's saying she's easily distracted, but she can also comment in the chat too. Anytime, Cheryl. Can you be diagnosed with autism or ADHD as an adult? Cheryl, yes, you can be diagnosed with both as an adult. Uh, Cheryl from Texas, what's going on? I'm also your friendly neighborhood. Hey, stack on the diagnoses. It's possible to still thrive with multiple diagnoses. Just keep that in mind. Let me see what my TikTokers are saying. Mosquito murders got weak. Yo, Marklin Issa, that's funny. Sorry to comment. That's funny. Uh, I feel like I'm giving them my dreams and self for dating, and I don't want to do that. I feel like I'm losing myself. Anika, if you feel like you're losing yourself as you're entering into a relationship, it's not gonna work out. I'm gonna just tell you that. I'm gonna burst your bubble. But the story has a good ending. Follow me on this. If you have to change who you are to date somebody, or you have to adjust your dreams, you're putting too much on that person. Because now it's like, all right, if things don't work out, you're behind in your dreams. You're gonna have a lot of resentment for that person. It's better that you run like your race, and then you find somebody who's running that race with you. They shouldn't be holding you back. They should be propelling you forward. So if you feel like you're giving up your dreams, and you're giving up who you are, and you're losing yourself, then maybe that's a sign that we have some work to do. Like we have some work to do, and not say that you're in the wrong relationship, because You may have to just speak up and communicate. And if that's your person, they'll tell you what's up. But you might want to just take your time, figure out if that's what you want. But losing yourself is way scarier than losing somebody else, because you have to be with yourself 24/7. A person can come and go. Keep that in mind. I hope you caught that. I hope that was helpful. Uh, it hurts my heart to the conversation because I can't remember what they said. Right, and Angela, when they look in your eyes, when they look in your eyes and they can see the hurt in your eyes, and they realize that you did not mean to do that, then they're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna back off. She didn't mean to do it, and I can just tell by, our conversation here that that's not something you do on purpose. You know, yeah, your partner should not stop you. Anika, I'm always gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. But look, I love the way that you receive that information. Now you're set up for success. You're set up for success, and it's gonna feel so much better when you have your person and your people around you, and you did it your way, and they're doing it their way too. So it means that y'all are compatible. Ah, Rachie Poo says, I completely lost myself in my last relationship. Well, Rachie Poo from TikTok, now that you know that, we can, account for that, or do our best to account for that in the next one. I helped my husband get his dreams accomplished, and he wouldn't let me go full force after. Whoa, 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 whoa. I helped my husband get his dreams accomplished, and he wouldn't let me go full force after mine. Then he left me. Ah, that crushed my heart. Lana, sorry to hear that. And look, I have mixed. I don't know where your husband was at, Lana, but I have mixed feelings about women stepping in to like help out a guy, like who's going through a hard time. Because I mean, I've been through hard times, and I've been in positions where, and I've had friends in similar positions where it's like, okay, you ask yourself, should I date now? Should I take a break from dating? And you're like, okay, if I have somebody who's helping me get through this hard time, or helping me, pursue my dreams, like it's cool. But I will say this as men: the woman that a guy picks at his lowest is not the same woman that a guy picks at his highest. It's self-explanatory, but I may have to explain it a bit further. The woman that a guy picks at his lowest is not the same woman that a guy picks at his highest. So when you're around a guy who has narcissistic tendencies and traits, and he's not where he wants to be in life, there is a chance. I'm not saying that it's always going to happen, but there is a chance that he may, pick you if you're the healing person. You're someone who's going to be, that rock. But once he gets to where he wants to get to, he now has leverage to go somewhere else. Uh, so it happens sometimes. But I mean, I'm terribly sorry that this happened, and it does not mean that your chances of love are over. It just means that you had a painful experience, and now you know how to proceed in the future. But I'm terribly sorry that that happened. You could be a professional. So, Lana, why can't you still be a professional runaway model? Runway model. I said runaway model. A model who's trying to run away. What am I talking about? Runway model. Um, and I don't know about the modeling game, so you know, let's wait at Chalupa. David, for sure you can ask a question. I just joined this live stream, and I would love to ask you a question that's been on my mind. How do we find partners that value our needs and value us? Mm, mm. Well, my, I'm Claire. I'm about to drop in tip three. Actually, let me drop in tip three as I answer this question, because I can drop in tip three and answer this question. So, David, you dropped this question at the right time. At the right time. All right, I got the answer to your question. So keep in mind, the first tip was go slow. So, David, if you're watching this, go slow. Think with the brain here, not with the brain down here, okay? Even if you like somebody, you think she's hot or whatever, don't rush to the Mickey Ficky, right? Take your time. Go slow, number one. Number two, look for reciprocity. Make sure that things are being reciprocated. So if you're doing something for her, doesn't have to be tit for tat, but make sure that the energy that you're giving out, you're getting something back in return. Maybe you're giving 20% for you at this point in time might look like, you know, 7% on her end, but you should be getting something back. All right. Number three, knowing yourself is key. David, so look back at your past relationships. At what point, did you mess up? Or what are some of the bad traits and habits that you have that make it harder for you to see if somebody values your needs and values you? Because by the question you've asked me, I can tell that you've been with people before who do not value you and don't value what you need. Because that's why you're asking the question. So you have to look back at, pattern recognition. How do I operate when I'm talking to a girl who I'm like completely head over heels with, like in love with, right? Like if that person becomes your new hyperfixation, or like if, and look, that's the thing about a crush. Crushes get so intense sometimes that you start to, what you know, and the parts that you don't know, you've imagined like you made a great story for why she's so amazing. So David, cool, you like her, but you remember the last time that you liked somebody, you remember how you went so fast, remember how you ignored red flags, remember how you told yourself, you convinced yourself of certain things. And I'm not saying that you did specifically, but all have things that we do that make it easy for us to get in relationships that we don't want to be in. And one of the best ways to know yourself, David, is to surround yourself with people who know you. And especially when you're getting to know somebody for the first time, those early, the formative stages of a relationship, everybody's putting out their best, right? Like if I'm going on a date or whatever, I'm gonna, go get a haircut. My hair's still clean for the most part. Make sure I got, my clothes are clean. I smell good. I look good. I feel good. So you're gonna put your best out there. So keep in mind they're giving you their best as well. So you haven't seen them at their worst. Like you just don't know enough about this person. So it's gonna be helpful for you to surround yourself. Like who are your people, David? Like as a guy, I don't really recommend being a lone wolf. Sometimes I look on TikTok and there's this advice where people are saying, go ghost mode for 6 months, lock in and grind and make money, or yeah, grind and be disciplined, make money, take care of yourself, get in the gym. All that stuff is correct, but you don't have to isolate to do that. Who are the people that keep you accountable? Because if you're completely enthralled with somebody and you have a huge crush on them, you won't see the red flags, and that's how you end up in a situation where they don't value you and they don't value your needs. So who are the people around you? The people around you are supposed to protect you. They're supposed to say, "Hey, David, nah, like I know she's thick or whatever, but I don't like how she operated." And look, I have to do this all the time. I'll give you all a story. Uh, and this girl might be watching the live stream. When she's watching, it's fine. And there's nothing too disparaging that I'm going to say about her. But I did a comedy show in North Hollywood at the Comedy Chateau. And my boy Mike was over. He's also a comedian. So he wasn't performing that night. He just came to watch me perform. So I came with like a girl that, we used to talk or whatever. We used to talk like, a little something, something. So Mike comes to my house. He walks in and, he waits for the girl to use the restroom. He's like, "Coach, who's that?" I said, "Oh, that's so and so. She's from Florida. I already told y'all about women from Florida, and that's my weakness. So that's something that the Lord is working on me with, right?" But she was from Florida, and Mike was like, "Who is she?" I said, "Just a girl I know, whatever." So we go to the comedy show. We go to the comedy show, and I tell Mike and I tell that lady, I'm like, "Hey, make yourself comfortable. It's gonna be a long night. I'm like the 19th, like not 19th, but like I'm pretty like low on the list. So it'll take a while before I go up. Say, hey, make yourself at home. It's on me. Get all the food that you want. Get all the food that you want. Make yourself comfortable." So it's me, Mike, and then this girl that I brought along. Mike was not hungry that day, so he didn't order any food. I said, "Mike, get yourself some food, bro. You came from Long Beach. It's a long drive. Get yourself some food." Mike's like, "I'm good." The girl was the only one who ordered food. The tab came out to be like $140 something. Now I know it's like California's expensive and it's like, whatever. And I mean, I left a tip anyway because like I have a good relationship with that club. But I was like, hold up, $140 something for one person? And Mike didn't eat anything. And like after she left, because she just came to see me. We didn't do the Mickey Ficky. I'm telling you all the truth. She just came to see me, right? And then she left, and me and Mike hung out at my house. And Mike was saying, Kojo, I could tell that her vibe wasn't correct even before she ordered, all the food on the menu for $140 something. Because when I got out the car and I opened the door for her, she didn't say thank you. I said, Mike, ah, ah, Mike, you were looking out for me. He saw the small things, the small details, the granular details. That's what a good friend does. Mike was like, hey, bro, I could tell, like, I don't like her for you because of that small thing I saw. So he picked up on that. And then, of course, she ordered like a whole lot of food, which, look, nothing wrong with that. But like, she ordered like 4 or 5 to go plates. I'm like, I don't know what was going on there. Right. But that's why I needed my boy Mike to help me out. I could not see. So he helped me out. Because what am I looking at? I'm just looking at this right here. But Mike was like, hey, bro, be careful with that. I said, thank you, brother. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. And likewise, when the roles are reversed, I'm going to look out for you too, because that's what a good friend does. So, David, you're not going to see certain things because as guys, what's the first thing that we look for? We look for looks, which, yes, you need to be attracted to the person. So don't skip that. But like, who's that person like internally? Like, how do they treat people around them? How does that person treat their parents, their siblings? How does that person treat other people when nobody's watching? Like, do they have a good heart? Like that's stuff that matters. And then those are the small intangibles that once they're there, you find somebody who values your needs and values you. So a long-winded answer, but I hope this helps out. William says, William, I'm telling you, look, I've been there before, and sometimes I'm still there. I'm just a regular guy. I'm just a Mickey Ficky who happens to be, a little educated, but the same things that y'all go through, I go through those same things. I get tricked too. you know, I only know what I know. Dr. Frogerston, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Hey, David, I appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you for coming on this stream, and thank you for asking that question. New Hampshire. I would love to come to New Hampshire. So many places I have to go, but I would love to come to New Hampshire. My bestie Paul does that for me. He always peeps people out for me. Right. And look, that's why life is not meant for us to do it alone. I know there might be a couple of lone wolves in this chat, people who like being by themselves, or you say you don't have friends, and I understand that. Sometimes that's part of the neurodivergent experience, that loneliness, and it can be profound, and you can be by yourself. It's hard to find people. But if you have at least this one person in your life who can look out for you, even if it's an online friend or just anybody, is very helpful, especially when they've known you for a while. So they can pick up on the things that you have to watch out for. How do I stop people pleasing? When I focus on myself, I feel selfish, especially when I'm in a relationship. I want to love me and put myself first, even if it means I lose people. All right, so Anika, I could tell what the issue is just by reading this right here. You said, I feel when I focus on myself, I feel selfish, especially when I'm in a relationship. That tells me that if God, or I believe in God, but if the powers that be, if you believe in something else, if they send you your person tomorrow, Anika, there's a good chance that you might not be able to sustain that relationship. The exact person that you've been wanting, you might fumble it if it comes tomorrow, because you're going to want to people please, and they would rather you just put boundaries and let them know what you don't like off the rip, because that shows confidence. It's like, hey, yeah, like I like you and I want you to be around, but like I don't like this, I don't do that, I'm good on this. Oh, I like that. It shows that you know yourself. Boundaries are attractive. And people pleasing is something that we do to survive, and it takes a while to get better at this, to stop the people pleasing, to stop the oversharing. So you gotta be very kind to yourself as you do this. Like take it day by day, take it day by day, Anika. Whatever progress you make, you gotta be proud of yourself. Um, and Zanem on TikTok is asking, "Hey Doc, can you tell us about how you cope with anxiety if you have it or uncertainty in your life?" Oh yeah. So Zanem, yeah, I definitely have anxiety. I don't think it's been diagnosed, but I definitely have anxiety, and uncertainty is a thing that's always in my life. I've had to learn to focus on the here and now. Um, Try not to live in the past. I mean, recognize the past as a you know as a explanation of like where I've been, and sometimes as a blueprint of the future if I like what I've done in the past to get me to a certain place. But just being as present as possible, mindfulness, just pausing. It used to be substances that used to help me be. That was how I would stay, present and deal with anxiety. And now I have some better coping strategies. So, a really good question. I do my best to just be in the moment. And the worst thing about anxiety is you can worry about all these things and maybe it will happen. But what if that thing happens in 7 years? Then you never had any peace because you spent 7 years worrying about it, then boom, it happened. As opposed to you could have been living your life and then whatever you feared happened in 7 years. Okay, cool, happened. Well, we'll move past it. We'll do our best to deal with it. But the current moment is a beautiful moment, and you'll never recognize how amazing this moment is. Like right now, I'm live streaming with you all. Anika's comment is still up here. I got my phone to the left. I got the Sony camera in front of me. Um, I can look and I see my assistant has sent me a couple of messages that I will. Okay, I can get to a little bit later, so I can say present. So I'm in this moment right now. This is a really cool moment, but I can't recognize that if my mind is somewhere else in the future. So, and Zara says, "Thank you for your content. It's helped with learning about my bipolar." Zara, I appreciate you on TikTok. Thank you so much. Um, Van Gotham Girl. The live stream start at 6 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Today started 7 o'clock West Coast, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I was late, but moving forward, I want to keep them at Monday through Friday. I want to stream every day because I actually like doing this. I just have to get my schedule right so I can do it. 9 o'clock New York time, 6 o'clock California time, 8 o'clock Dallas Nashville time, 7 o'clock Phoenix time. I'm about to drop that fourth one in there, Claire. Thank you for keeping me accountable so I can drop the fourth one in there. And every second is a blessing. Yeah, no, life is a beautiful experience. It really is. It really is. It really is. Now, the fourth one right here, this is the fourth tip, a fourth way to protect your mental health when dating. Being comfortable as up is a game changer. That's what it has to do with asking for help. And what this does is, Thomas, how you doing? No worry. What this does, this shows vulnerability. Okay. And this is something that you do. This is not right away where you just met somebody off of Hinge and it's your first date or whatever, or it's the first Mickey Ficky hookup. This is something that you do like as you progress in a relationship. Asking for help. It's something that I think we should practice. And it doesn't have to be like an enormous thing. It's not like, oh, can you put some new brakes in my car? Not like that. I mean, maybe so if that's what you need and they're willing to help, great. That could be a beautiful thing. But I'm talking about working your way up, asking for help. Like, hey, I struggle with boom, boom. So can you slow down when you talk to me? It helped me out. Small things like that, because asking for help is difficult. So you have to practice it. Hey, I have to go to the store and run a couple of errands. Do you mind if you watch my dog for a little bit? Is that okay? Or do you mind if you can, like, I just had surgery. It's hard for me to get up. Can you get the mail for me? And then just put the dishes in the dishwasher. I'll come in and press the button. But that little bit of help would be it'll go a long way for me. asking for help is good because you get to practice asking for help and you get to see how well that person is able to help you and how willing, and that might be the more important part, how willing they are to help you. Because think about it, why would you like? What's the point of getting to a relationship? Like obviously, like you want companionship, you want friendship, you want intimacy, you want sex, you want to build something, you want kids, you want a future. But a lot of those things, in a way, we're saying we want help. I've never seen a person have a baby by themselves. I've never seen somebody build an amazing company by themselves. So when you want a relationship, you're asking for help in a certain way. You're gonna need help to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. So the person that you pick, how willing and able are they when it comes to the help that you need? And this is where the compatibility thing is a big thing. Let's say you have the example earlier that I when I was making a couple of videos. Let's say you have ADHD and you're dating somebody who's autistic, and you are very spontaneous, and you get impulsive. You like to spend money a lot of times, but the person that you're with, because they're autistic, they're very regimented. They have a system for every single thing. When you have ADHD, you need a system even though you don't want one. So because your person is autistic and they have a routine for everything, you can say, "Hey, can you help me out with this? Because I'm kind of struggling. I don't know how to like organize myself. You have a really good system, so can I get your help?" Or if you're gonna make a big impulsive purchase, maybe you come up with a rule where it's like, all right, anything that I'm gonna purchase above $200, I'm gonna talk to my person first. So now you didn't go out there and get a whole bunch of golf clubs and a whole bunch of camera equipment or guitar stuff. You racked up the bill $900, or you maxed out a credit card because you were just feeling, you just felt like it. No, you talk to your person and they have a system. And so two things: you have to first have somebody who knows how to help you, because someone who's willing to help you but can't provide you with the help that you need is not going to work out. It's not going to work out. Let's say you're dating somebody who um, they don't understand mental health, and they don't believe in it. They think that, oh, if you're depressed, you're just making it up or whatever. Mental health is not real. That stuff is just made up, and the doctors are just trying to dope you up with drugs. I don't believe in it. But there's somebody that you love, and they love you and they want to help you, and they do help you. They help you with the kids, they help you with the dog, like they help you. But then when it comes to things with your mental health, yeah, they would help you, but they don't know how to help you. They're not capable of helping you because of where their mindset is at. That's a form of a tragedy in and of itself, because they want to help you, but they can't because they don't know how. So as you practice asking for help, hopefully you find somebody who is willing and able to help you. You see how dating is difficult. The older you get, it's not just I like you, you like me, boom, let's do this. I used to wish that it was like that. I mean, I still kind of do, if we're honest. But it's not like that. It's not. You know, Paul didn't let me buy a drum set. Well, I'm not sure who Paul is, but if that's your partner or current or ex, depending on what was going on, maybe that was the right call. Maybe that drum set was $3,000, and that was a hyperfixation. And then a week later, you're like, all right, I'm done with drums. I want to play guitar now. And then you can't take the equipment back because there's no return policy, which normally there is one. But for the purposes of this example, if they want to do life with you long term, though, right? I completely agree. And nowadays, let me see what Catherine says. Yes, I have to ask for folks to text me what they just said, especially if it's a deadline or specific date, time, outcome they're seeking. Right, because you want to make sure that y'all are on the same page. And look, let me go to this comment right here. All right, so let's talk about commitment or the lack of commitment. It's something that in this generation, for whatever reason, our relationship with commitment is not the best, and I'm telling it myself. I'm a commitment phobe in some shape or form, which is a big reason why I'm always chilling and I want to keep any type of relationship or fling or whatever off the internet because um, will she be there in a month? Will she be there in 2 months? Will she be there? I don't know. So we all have to work on our relationship or commitment, including myself. But one thing I will tell you is that it is better to commit than to not commit. Now, of course, keep in mind you need to know what you're committing to, but not committing to anything greater than yourself, any type of project, any type of career, any type of purpose. Not committing is an intentional decision, probably unintentional. That's how you saw it, but not committing is a form of a commitment. It's a commitment to indecisiveness. It's a commitment to being erratic, depending on what the thing is, right? But we have to commit to something greater than ourselves so we can have purpose. So even if you don't want to commit to a relationship, that's fine. Just communicate that and say, all right, this is what I have, but I will commit to this small thing. Because when you play, when you're trying to play the game and you're fearful, it's going to be hard for good things to happen because you're coming from a place of fear. So understand that when it comes to commitment. Renee, the researcher, says, I gave up on love a long time ago. I live in a city of players. Renee, the researcher, where do you live? On TikTok, tell me where you live. Every city is a city of players. People come out here and say, oh, everybody in Chicago is awful. Everybody in St. Louis is awful. Everybody in Tampa. No, I think it Atlanta. Well, okay, all right. I take it back. Renee, I take it back. Renee, I apologize. Atlanta's a city full of scammers, and I apologize. I was running my mouth. And I didn't let Renee even finish saying what she had to say. There's a lot of scamming going on in Atlanta. I love Atlanta though. But okay, all right. In places like Atlanta and Los Angeles, it is, I think, a bit harder. If I'm just being honest, it is a bit harder. And I'm not sure what happened to Atlanta, but yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Atlanta. But Renee, yeah, it's yeah. There you are. Jessica, I appreciate you. Yeah, Atlanta, yeah. And look, Eminem, yeah. I've been in LA for since past 4 years. And it's I don't know how to describe my dating experience in LA. I mean, I guess you can call it fun, but like the older you get, like the fun doesn't get the job done. Like it's not about fun anymore. It's not about the hottest girl or the model with the biggest boobs. Like it's not about. I mean, I guess, but no, it's about building something together. And LA, not impossible, but LA, Atlanta, it's it's something else, But I love Los Angeles. I'm so grateful for Los Angeles and what the city's done for me. I love LA, and I moved here to bring my message to the masses, and that's what we're doing. So I'm very grateful for that. But it's in a city where people are constantly trying to get to the next level. Finding your person can be interesting. Let's just say that. But I still love LA. I will defend LA. Atlanta is a home for me. I got so much family in Atlanta, and I love Atlanta. But it's something else. Ooh, Morgan Avoid. Good question. What are your thoughts on having your relationship stats on Facebook? Now, also, I've already finished the 4 ways to protect. So now we can, go into the Q&A. We've been doing Q&A, but we drop in more questions and answers. What are your thoughts on having your relationship stats on Facebook? Do you think it's a sign of commitment and suspicious if it's not on your profile? Ooh, what a good question. Morgan, I'll say this. This is something that you want to discuss with your partner. These are like first or second date questions, probably second date questions. But it's something that you discuss quite early on because some people want that external validation, and they may have valid reasons for that. And you want to respect why they want, to be seen, like why it matters so much. Because to me, like, this doesn't matter at all. Like Facebook says, like, what, like, I don't care. But for somebody else, if it matters a lot, they may have a very valid reason. And even if you don't think it's a valid reason, understand that they want to be posted on your Facebook page, and maybe their family members and their friends are watching. So I don't know where we stand with the internet and relationships, and you ideally don't want the internet to be in your business, but I mean, like, I know how things are in small towns, or when you post a Facebook album. I'm not sure if it's like that anymore, but you'll post a Facebook album, and people see, oh, Morg is in a relationship with Lonnie, or something like that. And it's a good way to announce things to like family members and friends and your grandma who's on Facebook. So you just want to make sure. I think the most important thing here is whoever you are dating, make sure that y'all are on the same page with this. I don't think there's a wrong or right answer, but I don't think it's a sign of, somebody being a commitment phobe if it's not in your profile, and I don't think it's a cause to be concerned or to feel like they're doing something suspicious behind your back. But I will say that if you're dating somebody, and I will put myself on blast right here. So let me take me, right, as a public figure. Let's say I'm dating somebody. I'm like, hey, babe, like, I love you, but the internet's ruthless, and they keep Googling who I'm married to, and it's rough out there for me as a public figure. So I would appreciate it if me and you, we date or whatever. We can go to Costa Rica, but can we keep our photos private? I don't ever want to post you on the internet. And she could say yes. In that situation, because I appear to be a single guy, and the internet thinks I'm single, but I got my girl right here. Now I could technically do whatever makey ficky stuff I want on the side, because a girl could come to me and think that I'm single. Oh, I'm just trying to, he's single. But I got my girl stashed away here. She's hiding over there. You can't see her, right? you know? So I think if you're dating somebody who wants to be private, both sides have to acknowledge, like, talk about the elephant in the room, the fact that if you do want to be private, people online, because it's an online world now. That's how we do things online, or today in 2024, it's online. People go to your Facebook, they're gonna stalk you to see if you're dating somebody. I've done that before. I'm like, oh, is this girl single? Let me go to her Facebook and see in a relationship with Matt. Okay, dang, all right, cool. So that's how we communicate nowadays. So that stuff is valid in a sense, but you want to make sure that the two of y'all are on the same page. I struggle with IBS. Any advice for people with BPD on TikTok? If you have BPD, I've been giving this advice for years, but when you have borderline personality disorder, it's very helpful to have a friendship with somebody who has a good relationship with themselves. And then you can mirror that and use that as a framework for, how to treat yourself, how to love yourself, and even for regulating your own emotions. Chalupa party. Van Gotham, can you make chalupas, or do we have to go Taco Bell? But the more you're talking about it, I'm getting hungry. I could have a chalupa or two. Um, hey everyone, wanted to share an update. Our son was born with 5 holes in his heart. He spent more than 15 months in the hospital. We've had 5 surgeries. We're doing well. That's a big win. That's I love the show right there. Congratulations. That's good news. I like reading good news like that. I appreciate that. Without hesitation, you try to use Sam's perspective. Yeah, as you know, better you do better. Facebook stats, trust issues that could be hiding you. Amber, yes, it's something that you have to acknowledge. And like I gave up my situation. Sometimes, and look, we all like attention. Even in relationships, you want attention. So even if I have my person and she's here, and there's somebody flirting with you, like, we like that attention, but we have to compartmentalize, and that's why boundaries are important. Because even if we all like that attention, but you still have to respect your person. Just think about if they were there and they could see what you're doing. You're flirting with her. She's twirling her hair like this. She's like hopping up and down. You know how like when girls like you, they get like all jumpy and they're smiling and blushing and doing like this with her hair, or she's chewing her gum. Like she's trying to get your attention. If you're single, cool. But just think to yourself, if your partner was here and they were watching you, like what would they say? So I personally feel like it's more important to show off your partner in person. It can also be a tool to control someone by just, yeah, yeah. And look, I mean, are we showing our partners off in person? Is that something that I think we're doing that right? Growing up in the South, if you took a girl to Walmart, it was like a big deal. Like people were like, oh, like they're official, like they went to Walmart. So I'm not sure if people are still, going public relationships. I think we are. Charles Green, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We need to talk about these, especially in our community. I can't get with that need for visibility. Relationships are like prayer, private and sacred. So, I mean, this is how I feel personally, but at the same time, this is also used as a cover to do a lot of, Mickey Ficky stuff behind somebody's back. Now I'm just trying to hold myself accountable, hold everybody accountable. We all need accountability. Coco, I appreciate that. I like the way you spoke, Coco, too. Come back to Florida. Those Florida women, you got to be careful with them. Please believe me when I say people where I live in SoCal are not worth it. I mean, I love Los Angeles and I love the city. I think you can find somebody good in Southern California. And just have to be intentional about it. Just take your time. Take your time. My partner and I were so nervous about committing to each other. We had to be willing to jump into the pool and get wet. We are soaking wet now after 14 years. Lucky to be loved and to love. Congratulations. That's awesome. I love reading stuff like that. It's possible. It's possible. And if you don't know it's possible, then you won't operate in a manner which sometimes will allow you to get it. Because you don't know it's possible, so you're not thinking that it could happen for you. Our son's name is Raider. He's 20 months old. Okay, Raider. Oh, Raider's mama. Okay, it makes sense. Well, Raider's mama. I hope the Raider is doing good, and he's might be a Las Vegas Raider one day. Walmart's, man, like Walmart being a date. Like I'm a fan of simple dates. Like, not to say that those steakhouse dinners aren't like they're cool, but like yeah, I try and be a man of class. I try. I just want to be someone's secret in a bad way. Been there, done that. And Claire, so this goes two ways. If you've been somebody's secret before, forgive yourself for everything that you did that contributed to you being in that situation. You did the best that you could with the information that you had. And you probably had some good times and some bad times. So forgive yourself. And if you can, try and see things from that person's perspective. Not to go back to them, but if you can have some empathy for them, great. And sometimes people don't know that they're doing this. So it's all about communication. Because I've been in a situation where, the certain girl I was dating, this is back in grad school, she came up to me and she was like, these stories I tell are crazy. Dr. Emmanuel, how you doing? My guy, Dr. Emmanuel, our favorite cardiologist on TikTok. But I see I got sidetracked. All right, so I was in this girl in grad school, and she came up to me one day. She said, "Kojo, do you know who the All American Rejects are?" I'm like, "Yeah. All American Rejects. That's a great band. I love their music." She's like, "They have a song called Dirty Little Secret, and that's what you made me feel like." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I still don't want to post you on Instagram, but I'm sorry. Like, what can I do?" And she just wanted to be like seen in public. So like we went out and she was pretty and stuff. I just didn't want to post anything, but got hear her out because she said she felt like a secret, and when you're a public person and you keep that side of your life private, and they don't know why. I think anybody will get naturally suspicious. So I love your applause. Hey, Claire, go get something to eat. Go get something to eat now. Go get something to eat. Yeah, I love All American Rejects too. I keep you my dirty little secret. I'm just another reject. Dirty little secret. Gabby, what's going on? How you doing? Who has to know? Oh, okay. So was this a soft launch at Walmart? I live in Denver, which was I live in Denver, which was determined to be the worst city to find love and the city you're most likely to get catfished in. I don't know who makes these things up, because they say this about every city. Like it's bad in Denver, it's bad. I think the bigger cities, the chances of a catfish a little bit higher. So it might be a big city thing in Denver, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta. Um, but I don't think that there's something in the water which makes Denver like, you know. Gabby, that's what's up. Wait till I get my medications back. What do you do when they switch up the communication afterwards? So, Lana, all right, really good question. I'm surprised we haven't talked about this. When the communication has been switched up, when the energy has shifted, it's important. I'm like, look, people go through things. Maybe that person hit a wall where, they hit a depressive episode, or they're grieving something, or they're struggling to process something. Give people grace. But when the communication has been altered, that's a good time to really, hit the brakes. Hit the brakes and pause. You don't have to come to a screeching halt, but hit the brakes and pause and really figure out like what's going on, like what's going on here, because you want to make sure that you respect yourself in the process. One thing that I do to help me make better decisions, I always ask myself, I said, all right, what would the highest version of myself do in this current moment? Because whatever that person would do, it'd be a decision that would, hope, it'd help me out in the current moment, but it'd be something that would help me out on the back end. What would the highest version of myself, who is healing and processing things and who is present and mindful, what would they do? What would they do? The goal is not to, please people. That's not why we're here. The goal is to do right by ourselves, not break the promises that we made to ourselves before we enter this situation. So if the communication switches up, you hit the brakes, and you take, you don't have to impulsively like leave, but you hit the brakes, and you verbalize your concerns, not an ultimatum, but you verbalize your concerns, and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and I'd like to communicate, and then you go from there. And this happens. This happens a lot. Claire, thank you for coming to the live stream. We'll almost be done, and then after I'm done, I will go on TikTok live and just give my TikTokers some attention, one-on-one attention. What would they do? So Lana, I'm not sure what they would do, but let's say the communication switches and you pump the brakes. A lot of times they may not change anything. And what ends up happening is you hit the brakes, but then you're like, all right, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna hit the gas again, and you proceed. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And not that it's giving in, but it's not the highest version of yourself that respects who you are and is present and mindful and is healing. They wouldn't do that, because you're going for the short term. Oh, I want to feel good now because I just had to speak up for myself, and you didn't wait to see what they did when you spoke up for yourself. You're not speaking up for yourself just to hear yourself talk. You're doing that so that you can communicate and say, hey, this is what I need. And if you can't get that, you cannot go any further. You should not be planning no trips and planning a whole future when you can't get past that. Perhaps some of us are doomed to be alone. I was always a secret in past relationships, and I refuse to be hidden. I tried to take my own life being in the closet. I can't do that anymore. So Jay, once again, I'm sorry that you went through this. Obviously, me being a mental health professional, I've heard stories like this before. It might be a bit, shocking or jarring for people to hear this, but when it affects you like this, and heartbreak and disappointment can affect your mental health severely. So not that you're doomed to be alone, but if you are going to date, if you're going to experience, romance or companionship, it has to be done a certain way, and that certain way is a way that's going to, respect you, and you're going to have your a basic, like a minimum threshold of needs are going to be met. So if you have to be, you know, like Jay, if you have to be seen, with your partner, or if they have to change your Facebook thing to acknowledge you, maybe you need that. But if that's what you need, don't, to the best of your ability, don't put yourself in a position to where the other person's like, oh, I might. Make sure you get what you're aiming for, especially when it affects your mental health to this level. And it heartbreak can do that. Heartbreak can do that. This is my special interest. S, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Uh, I appreciate that. Now we're in the Q&A portion of the live stream. We'll do Q&A. Um, well, it's so close to 2 hours, so we'll stream for 10 more minutes, and then I'll go on TikTok and show some love to my TikTokers. Dr. G from University of Hawaii is now a fan of Dr. Kojo and a few other students. So glad to. Candace, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really cool to see how people get introduced to your content. I think this is the most, right now, this space that I'm in my life, this is the most present that I've been probably in 4 years, if I'm being honest with you all. Like when you have a platform like this, it takes a long time to just like figure out what's going on, because all you see is like numbers, and numbers are just going up, and everything is just happening so fast. And now I'm back. I like this pace now. I'm able to really, have one-on-one time doing these live streams, talking to people. Now I'm not gonna forget the correspondence we had last week, and Dr. G, and talking to your professor. So it's so cool to be mindful and present. So as I'm talking about this stuff, I'm working really hard myself to make sure that I'm practicing what I'm preaching. So Catherine, are you asking what changed in terms of me being mindful, more mindful and present? Can you just clarify, and then so I can answer your question? S, thank you for coming on the stream, S. I appreciate you. You said yes. Okay, cool. I'll answer in a second. I've been watching you since video number 3. Oh, wow. Last year, I'll be cracking my neck sometimes. Sorry. Catherine, I'll answer your question in a second. Last year, I realized I'm an anxious attacher and working my attachment style. I fear becoming anxiously attached again, and I'm avoiding interactions. I feel stuck. Well, you feel stuck because you're not allowing yourself to move. So, and Eminem, take it easy on yourself. But when you get to the point where you're like, all right, I'm gonna proceed and put myself out there in limited, capacity, and I don't fear being disappointed. I don't fear, even running into, an avoidant, which scares people who are anxiously attached. Once you're not afraid of that, then you're bigger than the fear. So then you're in a better space to get what you actually want. But if you just hold off, you won't get what you want, but then you won't get hurt. So what changed? Dr. Crystal, thank you so much. Yeah, so what changed for me? Really the people around me. I had to take a long and hard look at myself, and just figure out, just recalibrate, which is very difficult to do when there's so many moving pieces and moving parts. So the people around me changed, and I made an intentional effort to. I had a situation last year where I got caught up with like some talent agency. I was signed to some management, and I had started seeing patients again, so I wasn't like paying attention to what things like, with my brand deals and all that stuff. But like I pay attention to every single detail. But I decided to hire somebody and like let them take care of it, so I could like have people delegate And so I trusted, and then I blinked my eyes for a second, and then you have a talent agency trying to steal money from you in broad daylight. I took that very personally because I'm a giving person, I'm a trusting person, and I'm somebody who overlooks the small details. So you could really steal from me, and I'm not even paying attention. And when I realized that that was what was happening, I was like, oh, hold up, something is wrong in my system for me to just be living life all happy, goofy, and then these people can be stealing money from me and hurting the brand, and I wasn't paying attention. So I had to take a step back, and now my team now from 6 months ago is 75% changed. I have new people on the team, people that I'm close to. Not that anything was wrong with the former people. I'm very grateful for everybody that I've had. But I had to take a step back and make sure that the people around me were solid because in my position, you just will not see things. Things are happening too fast, and there's just an event here, and you're going here, and you're traveling there. There's no way to really sit down and just make sure that the decisions that you're making are the ones that you want to make without help from other people. That's why I'm so big on help. You need help. Who are the people in your circle? So having, and I don't want to say better people because this is not an indictment on anybody, but having my people, I need a very specific group of people in my circle, people who I can be vulnerable with, people who understand my deficits and know that, okay, he might be a little bit, he's a little absent-minded, he's a little forgetful, and people who see my flaws and they cover for me without wanting to make a big spectacle of it. So adjusting the people in my life has allowed me to be so much more present and just be better to myself, better for my people, better for my online community. So yeah, the people around me is probably the number one thing that has changed, and it's difficult because I have to get a lot of um, even friend wise, a lot of people who people who won't tell you the truth because if they do, like I'm the one like I cut the check and all this stuff. So it was really hard to get a good read on anything when people are telling you what you know they think you want to hear. So that sort of thing, I guess it comes with like being a public figure and also having ADHD and naturally kind of being like all over the place. So just having better people around me, it's been a game changer. I feel so present. I feel so grateful. I'm there's so much more that I'm gonna do, and so much more that this community will grow so much more. But just right now, the space that I'm in, I'm very grateful for this exact moment. I'm just filled with gratitude. So the people you keep around you is huge. Libby, yeah, yeah. LA has something to do with it, but I won't even. I can't just pin it all on LA because got to take the good with the bad. Los Angeles, my platform exploded into the millions of followers, and it's been very, very good experience in California thus far. But yes, you have to be, in the South where I'm from, a handshake will get the job done. Here in California, no, we don't do that. You bring your lawyer, I bring my lawyer. We sign a dotted line. You have to like. I didn't know that that's how the game worked. Because I'm from the South. Like, hey, bro, I got you. But now, no, I don't got you. I know how I know how the game works. So yeah, this resonates with me, but probably all of us. The world's so chaotic, and we don't communicate, but sometimes we don't see the risks. Yeah, and once again, life is not meant to be lived alone. You're gonna need people. You're gonna need your people, people who are not afraid to tell you the truth, people who want your best interest in mind, and that will involve saying things that you don't want to hear, but things that you have to hear. And whenever you wake up from whatever you know trance you're in, you're gonna thank the people who risked y'all's relationship to tell you the truth. And the people who didn't say anything, you're like, hold up. If you see me running towards a ditch and you don't say anything, are you a friend or are you not a friend? How do you make moves when you don't trust yourself to make the right decisions? The people around you. Once again, who are you keeping around you? Who are you keeping around you? Mm. Libby, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And yeah, Lisa, And the way I look at things, it's not it's it's all a part of life. Like you learn some way somehow. I'm grateful for the experience, but now because I'm in a place where I can compartmentalize and I can just process it a bit better. But yeah, no, this there is a link to the whole neurodivergent thing of not being able to pick up on things. So now I know myself. Am I different from last year in terms of like how fast I can pick up on things? Probably not. Like I still will overlook some small details here and there, and I'm like, all right, okay, sure. But now that I know that, okay, all right, okay, I know myself. So now I'm gonna have Chandler do this, John will do this. I'm gonna have the team set up to account for my deficiencies. We're locked in. We're set up for success now because I know myself. So I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. That's why, like mental illness is like it's not something that will prevent you from reaching your goals and dreams. But you not knowing yourself and having mental illness, yeah, that's the part I'm scared about. Because now you don't know yourself, so you don't know what help you need. That's when it's tricky. Mm. Recommend Vanguard. Well, I may have to look into a Vanguard. I ain't gonna lie to you. I may have to look into a Vanguard, Libby. I appreciate you. Learn from mistakes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm giving myself grace. Give myself grace, and I'm finding my tribe. That's big facts. How do you choose your people in your life? Uh, Based off of well, I'm a big family person, so I'm big on family, but not all family all the time. They don't, have your best interest in mind. But I pick people who are accountable to themselves, people who want the best for themselves, and people who want the best for me. And likewise, I make sure that we can, it's a reciprocal relationship. Uh, and also in your environment too. Sometimes changing your environment is helpful. I now have I got a good group of people in Los Angeles, but it only took 4.5 years to find them. you know, this isn't Seattle, Washington, or Tacoma, or Tampa, or Savannah, Georgia, or you can find your people a little bit faster. It takes a while, but I found my folks. But yeah, you want to make sure you have people who can be real with you, people who are not afraid to tell you the truth. And it's trial and error. It's trial and error. So it's especially when you're neurodivergent, you're gonna have to realize that dang, like yeah, you cannot be afraid of severing relationships that you had for long periods of time when it comes to respecting yourself. Oh yeah, I said Tacoma. I said Tacoma. Gaddis, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I love this. I'm actually a teacher and I like to practice trauma informed teaching. So many times people try to help my sugarcoating and not give the neurodivergent community honest feedback. As a result, people don't learn that they need a group to help them fill in their shortcomings. Lisa, this is big facts. You're gonna need help. You will need help. You will need to get some sort of external support. You cannot do it all by yourself. You cannot do it all by yourself. And honesty is the best policy. Honesty is I'm so attracted to the truth nowadays. I love it. Like I don't have to feel good. Like I'm able to operate life without like feeling, like, if I don't feel like I'll be good. I need the truth. The truth is what is attractive. And people who are not afraid to tell you the truth, it's like, oh, bring them here, bring them here. They'll tell you the truth, and likewise, you keep it real with them as well. And there's a time and place for everything. The way you say things is important, and tact, all that stuff is important. But the truth is the truth, and when you can be brutally honest with somebody, it, you know, at least for me, that's my preferred communication style. It's late night. Used to live in LA. Yeah, yeah, and like maybe it's an LA thing, but LA is still my city. I'm still grateful for the city and the platform and people I've been able to um, impact. So I'm proud to be Angelino. Is that how you call it? Angelino or Los Angeles? I don't know what it's called, but I'm proud to be an Angelino. Phoenix, thank you so much, and I hope to see you at future lives. Uh, Do you keep analytics on where most of your followers live? Curious, because Sigma is keeping lots of us from finding our trusted tribe. Yes, I know my numbers very well. According to my numbers, at least here on Facebook, the majority of my people are in New York City. They are in New York City, and I will have my love affair with New York City very soon. I will have a situationship with New York City, a very fun relationship where, we're locked in for a little bit. So I will have I've had my eye on New York City for a long time. So yeah, I got a lot of my people out there in New York. I don't know why in New York, but like New York is like New York and then everybody else. Maybe because New York is a big city in the U.S. I don't know. Possibly, it could be a numbers thing. Finding your people is like dating. You try people, and some people are good for you. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And when you know yourself, you can pivot. And also, when whatever happens to us, good, bad, and different, you have to understand these things happen for us. It's not happening to. It's happening for us, whether it's good or bad, because it happened. Now you know. So it's all about perspective. That's what a therapist would do for you when you go in the office. Because you go and you're like, I can't believe this happened to me, and they're like, oh no, this happened for you. Now you're smarter. Now you can actually go out there and get them because you're in a better spot. And you're like, I blew my mind. Right? So these things happen for you, not to you. I mean, depending on where you're at, you're like, I can't believe this happened to me. But these things happen for us. Right? So yeah, really, really good good live stream. And Lavender, thank you for the follow, Lavender. Good live stream and good perspective. Uh, and what's Catherine saying? I'm, I just want to go where I know. Yeah, and that's when you feel tired, you have to do things to renew your spirit, because trying to make friends or trying to date, all that stuff, it takes energy from you. And you're like, oh, this is too much. It's too much. I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I'm tired. It happens, but you have to figure out how to renew yourself. And the way I do that, I do that with family. I'm a big family person. You know, I'm a big family person. I go home. I don't feel like a West Coaster sometimes. I fly back to Georgia and Tennessee frequently. I don't miss big events. My sister just had a baby. I was in Atlanta this past weekend. I don't miss those big birthdays, new baby shower. I don't miss events. Like I'm there with the family, and that stuff like it keeps my soul full, and that's my gasoline. That's my fuel for me to be present for everybody. So I would recommend that if whoever your people are. Lisa, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, no, this is a great live stream. Oh yeah, it's definitely night, but I need to end it so I can go on TikTok and because TikTok they're not used to the horizontal. They're not used to the horizontal like delivery of live streams, and they like when I play music. So I'm gonna send a couple of emails, take my melatonin. Uh, so I gotta take the melatonin first. That way, in about 30, 45 minutes, I drift off. And I'm riding nice into the night. So yeah, he says, I'm hella friendly and I can make friends like a golden retriever, but sometimes I just like being my blanket for it. Right. And there's a balance. And the real ones are okay when you're like, all right, okay, I've had a lot of playtime today. I'm gonna go back into my hole. They're not gonna be offended because they know how you are and they're not gonna make you feel bad, you know. Uh, look, we have to keep each other accountable. That's what we're here for. All right, so Jennifer, if you go on my TikTok, it's at dr.kojosarfo, dr.kojosarfo. I will be talking. I'll answer this question in about 5-10 minutes. I gotta go pee real quick and take some melatonin and look at something that my sister sent me. But I'll be on TikTok like 5-10 minutes, and we can talk about oversharing. All right, y'all. Take care. Tomorrow we have the live stream. I was gonna say same time, but I show up late today. 6 o'clock West Coast time, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. The neurodivergent speed dating. It's gonna be really interesting to see how we do it. So I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I'm super excited. So love all of y'all. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Libby. Thank you, Jennifer. Candace switched to TikTok. All right. So I'll see Candace and Jennifer on TikTok. All right. Love y'all. Peace. See y'all tomorrow. And for some of y'all, I'll see y'all on TikTok in like 5 minutes.